Mission, on mission, trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Trying to mission, on mission. I'm on a mission, on a mission. I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission, on a mission, on a mission. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy, and we are here with a special guest, Amora Lexx, and we also have in the house Chief Yen Dyer, and we're going to get into, the demonization of Amora Lexx. So let's introduce our first panelist to the stage. We have Chief Yen Dyer. Chief is a shaman and a chief in the Ifa tradition, En Ifa. She has over, I don't know how many years of experience in counseling and different modalities, hypnosis, etc. And, I thought that today would be a special day to just not only talk about the things going on, but also to really dive deep into the psychology of what's happening in this situation. So, without further ado, I do want to bring on Amora Lexx. Now, Amora Lexx, welcome to the panel. Shouts out.
Hi, thank you for having me back. It's
Yes,
always
thank
good to
you.
listen energy with you.
Yeah, so
I definitely
so a
love
year
it.
ago, you had went on Nick at Night, and we had I saw you on there. Well, I actually saw you on TikTok, and then you did the Nick at Night show, and after that, you did our show where you talked about what happened to you. The entire CPS case, everything, and then after that, it kind of like life went on, but I've kept in touch with you the entire time. You then moved on to do various other panels and different actual shows, and I just wanted to like we really I just always kept up with you, like what's going on, how you feeling, whatever, what's going on. So can you kind of like catch us up, kind of bring us a little bit into the past, but then get into what's going on right now currently, and then like let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I mean, just like you said, life went on. After I've done the different panels, the try to do different avenues and shows and things like that. I'm not gonna say it didn't work out, but it didn't also work out either, if that makes sense. So, I kind of really just fell off the face of the earth for the better part of 8, 9 months, just trying to just become a regular person again, and I don't think that's gonna happen. I do not think that's gonna happen. Yeah, I really don't see that happening, and that's okay. I'm probably not meant to be a regular person. Um, but I've even still to this day, I still experience just irrelevant opinions or just being blindsided by people's comments that have nothing to do about anything. Still just fighting my way through the hate. Honestly. Um,
Right. So what are they hating you for? Let's go back into the situation, right? Explain,
mhm.
in a really quick way. We don't have to like really go back into trauma and like re-traumatize the situation, but let's kind of get back into what exactly happened in your life to bring you to this point.
Yeah, so just for a reminder, or for those who are, just getting hip to me, um, they call me CPS girl, but my name is Amora Lexx. I'm the one who went live dropping my kids off at CPS. Many things have happened. I have gone back for my kids literally 2 days later. I still have custody of all my kids, but it was more so when I posted it, it wasn't like, it wasn't for like views or gains or anything like that. It was more so like, I need help. I was reaching out to anybody for help, and it's weird, the hate that followed more so. A lot of people were upset about what I've done, but surprisingly, most of the hate came from the opportunities that came afterwards. It was a lot of kind of like a, why her, not me type of situation. So, it was just the hate really came from the opportunities, and people hated on me so much that they brought the attention to me, if that makes sense. So it was kind of like the haters were mad at what they did, and I thank them, I definitely thank them. But yeah, really just, I don't even know if I answered the question, y'all.
Well, the main thing is that for those that don't even know exactly, you said that you were the CPS. You were labeled the CPS girl. What exactly is the CPS girl? What exactly was going on in that situation?
Um, so pretty much, just in 1 week, I lost everything from my house to my car, two jobs. When I lost my car, and I had my side hustles, I ended up losing as well. So I mean, everything, childcare, food stamp. I mean, literally, you name it, I lost everything. Usually I used to have, like a trick up my sleeve. And when I say trick, I don't mean, selling poon poon or anything like that. I mean something to fall back on, like a plan B, plan C. I used to always have that. And for the first time since 15, I didn't have that to fall on. So I reached out to family, reached out to friends, reached out to the state for help, trying to recover. It wasn't happening, and just because I was going through what I was going through, the world wasn't going to stop. So I made and it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision at all, but I made the choice to take my kids to children's services so I could try to get on my feet. And yeah, and I'd be lying to say at that
And
time that
all
it
hell
didn't.
broke loose ever since then.
All hell broke
You have
loose.
had.
I mean,
Tell us about some of the things and how people have treated you based on this. Let's go.
um, well, as we all know, I tore the internet in half. I'm getting love on one side. I'm getting kind of, hate on the other. Um, I've had people attack me, literally trying to get videos to gain views off of me. I've had people try to use me. I've had people try to set me up. Even still to this day, I still get berated on my decision a year ago. So it could literally be somebody else going live about what they're going through, and I could jump on there and say, "Hey, you got this. I'm proud of you. You're handling it like a man. You're handling it like a woman." People I don't even know. Why are you on here trying to, you know, bring them up when you couldn't even handle your own situation? Go get your kids and da 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 da. Like I still just get that all the time. And a lot of people, they keep saying that and they don't know I still have custody of all five of my beautiful babies. So, and
So,
it's just,
so when you brought them to that situation, it wasn't necessarily you were trying to give them up. It was more or less like I
no.
just need some help.
Oh yeah, the moment I dropped them off, and there's actually still a clip of their, I mean, the clips are still on YouTube, and I literally told the lady, you remember my face for what I tell you, because I'm coming back for my kids. Like I said, being a mother was never the issue. Like, yeah, some of the kids were brought through, from sexual assault and things like that with my first two. And even though they came from such a horrible place in my life, they're still my blessing. They're my backbone. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I feel bad for those babies. They're going to be traumatized." And surprisingly, I I actually have. I mean, I've always had a good relationship with my kids, but this has made us even tighter. Like, I still keep in contact with my kids. Like it just made us tighter. Especially my oldest son. He turned 12 in goodness, not August. He turned 12 in April, and sometimes I ask him, and I mean, because my son, he knows he can be straightforward and thorough with me, because that's just how we're able to move forward with things, by actually talking it out. And I'm not one of those parents that be like, "Oh, this is what this is, this is what this is because I'm the mom and you're the child." No, I tell my kids, if you feel like there's something I could do better, let me know. So we've definitely we definitely, we've gotten stronger. And I made sure, because I actually have a video. Nobody has ever seen this video. And it wasn't, oh, so I could post it for views. It was so every now and then I could go back and watch that video of what I was telling my kids that night in the car on the way to children's services. And my son, Mama, you gonna make me cry. Jesus. And every time I talk, I start crying. Jesus. Um,
It's okay.
and it's happy tears because my kids know, even with that situation, they know for one thing for sure and one thing for certain, mommy's gonna step for them. Mom, they know. And he let me just try to take a whiff of this, get the frog out my throat. Okay, it didn't help, but he's like he's like, I know. My oldest baby, my baby, he's like, I see the videos on YouTube. I hear what people say, but they don't know you like I know you. And he's like, I know you love us and you came back for us like you said you would. And he's just, he never doubted for a second I was coming back, because like I said, me and my kids were very, very close, including when, after that situation. And he knows, like, they, even my youngest, my goodness, not my youngest, but my second son, he's 11. And just the way I could just summarize it without going too deep into it. I'm the devil in everybody else's eyes, but to my kids, they understand because they see what's going on around in the world. They saw what I was going through trying to take care of them. And like I said, he all of them, the ones who can understand what was going on. Like I said, I was the devil in everybody's eyes, but I was the hero in their eyes, because they said you could. They know it was never going to come down to it, but they was like, we see news all the time where these parents are killing their kids. You've never tried to harm us. You didn't try to kill us. You put us in a place you knew we'd be safe, and you still came back for us, like you said. And he was it. I went back for my kids to. I had dropped them off on a Friday, and I picked them back up on Sunday. And I mean, for a little minute, I still had children's services and my business and stuff. In August of last year, everything was fully closed out. Like, they closed my case and everything. Still walked away with custody of all my kids. And he was like, I knew you were coming back for us. I didn't expect you to come back that soon. And I was like, of course, because don't get me wrong, like, I knew the extent of what I was doing before it happened. And I understood the extent of what I did afterwards. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all know it. I got these hiccups. They never leaving. But I knew the extent of what I was doing before and after. And, when I dropped him off, it was never like, oh, I don't want you guys. It was never like that. Like, I did say, I know I said that in the video, but I was also talking in a place of hurt, rage, anger, lost, just mind just so full of everything. And it was like, when I dropped them off, my intention was to never go back for them. I made it very clear I was always going to go back for my babies, and I did just that. um and it's right now, there's a girl, I'm not even going to say her name. We don't give those kind of people any type of clout. But right now, she's going on Facebook telling everybody that I have to get buzzed in. I only have visitation rights and stuff. And she's like, oh, it's public record. And I'm like, okay, post it. No, she can't
Mm.
post it. And it's too many people in my city who have seen me literally just out and about with my kids. So,
Well, I want to like kind of share to give an idea of how vicious this whole situation really got. So you did a
yeah.
show with real life street stars, and you had you went on there, and you're telling your story, and then someone said at some point you get a visit by somebody, and let's go into how this whole thing went down.
And that's your shoes. I see. You got a great pedicure.
Mhm.
You're not cheap on yourself. So where are you investing? You see
Well,
what I'm saying? When I hear a mom say, I'm struggling, I'm going through this, I don't have a house, I got bad transportation, I'm going through all of this, the one thing I'm not expecting is a manicure like that. Real life. We do what we do because we choose to, whether it's good or bad. It's not what you chose to do, it's what you do with the outcome. I see your nails. They match your shoes. I see it. You got a great pedicure.
Mm-hmm.
You're not cheap on yourself. So where are you investing?
Well,
you see what I'm saying? When I hear a mom say, I'm struggling, I'm going through this, I don't have a house, I got bad transportation, I'm going through all of this, the one thing I'm not expecting is a manicure like that,
mm-hmm.
a pedicure like that, because you know why? She's stacking every dollar that she has to do. And that's not your focus.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about going to a strip club tonight.
Multiple streams of income, no matter how it comes.
This isn't about multiple streams of income. This is a dangerous fucking time in the world.
Yeah, she's so fucking retarded.
Hey, listen to me. I know people. I know the niggas that work the parking lot. I know what go on there. Oh, what go on there. You ain't getting back to your kids working there. I can tell you that. And them
you know
niggas
what,
love robbing girls.
I hope they like dying. And I'm so sorry. I do not mean to cut that video short, but I'm definitely going to drop a bombshell about Jaguar when I get the chance, if you will allow me. And without saying too much and
Go ahead.
going too deep into it.
No, go ahead.
So, do you remember how in the video she kept saying no? She just kept bringing Diddy, no Diddy this, no Diddy that. Well, a lot, and I have not spoken about it, but and you know, and I don't say no names, but I will say Jaguar Wright's name. A lot of people do not know after this interview. Thank God, it did not happen. But Jaguar Wright set me up to get raped. She literally tried to have me raped. And that's what a lot of people don't know. She definitely tried to set me up to get raped. So when I do see her, it's in the air. And I don't want to say too much because I know your channel is more peaceful and loving. But when Jaguar sees me, I have to give her that. No, there's no way around it. And with this, when I didn't realize at the time she was projecting on me, because unlike me, Jaguar Wright is a mother who failed. You know, she got herself together. She never went back for her son. Even still not all the way together. I still went back for my kids. And unlike her child, my kids have undying love and respect for me. You know, hers, like, I don't want to get into her business too much. Well, I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't, because if it was me, it'd be the other way around. But yeah, she definitely tried to set me up to get raped.
Feel free to speak out your mind. Don't even worry about anything. Just look. This is like, you know what? Just feel free to. Don't feel like you have to like cut your words. Express how you feel. Because at the end, we're gonna really break this whole thing down. Chief is gonna break the whole thing down from a mental aspect, from a motherhood aspect, and from a psychological aspect. So this is not just about the tea or none of that. This is not like, we're not doing this for clicks and views. We're doing this because there's people out here that probably have felt overwhelmed and had kids and couldn't make it through, and you did the best that you can do. So for someone to get on any panel and to try to like down you because you got your nails done before you did an interview is crazy to me.
Actually was even funny about that. She was trying. If anybody actually saw the close up of my manicure and my pedicure, you would have known I had got my nails done maybe a month and a half prior to that interview. Like that's how long my manicure, my manicure and pedicure was done.
It don't matter if you got it done before you went. That's your choice. That's your prerogative.
Yeah, and I literally spent
the nails like that.
Exactly, and I finally spent my last $100 finally on myself, because all the money I had, well, it wasn't a lot, but the money that I did have come in a little bit. What did I do? Exactly what I said I was going to do. I gave that to my kids. I gave that to the people who had my kids. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. You know, I still looked out for my kids.
I think at this point we need to get Chief in line and have Chief talk about what's going on.
No, I'm just observing and listening to what you say.
Jaguar Wright is a piss poor mom, and it'll always be like that. And she's a mother who failed and continues to fail. I haven't seen her strive for her son once. And then for her to let some guy she barely even knows come in and tell her and talk to her son like that, I wish somebody would try to talk to my child like that. I'd knock him straight up his head. Mm-mm-mm.
Right. And for her, and also to like try to like belittle you in a situation like that when
Yeah,
you're
she was
crying.
projecting onto me.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Tell
make
tell us
another,
how that felt. And
huh?
well, Chief? Did you say something?
No, I'm listening.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that Jaguar made me cry. She didn't. I had already been shedding tears before she walked in. And Jaguar, she wasn't supposed to be in my interview. She made sure that she used my time where I was trying to explain an awareness through my life story. She tried to make tape. Well, she didn't try. She did. She made it all about her. She tried to just, bombard me in the interview that she wasn't even invited to. And like I said, she's tried to set me up to get raped after that. So when I do see her, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say it out loud and I'm gonna say it proud. I'm gonna beat the dog fuck out of her. I'm going to beat the dog shit out of her. When we ended that interview, it's because I was getting ready to rearrange the studio with her. That's why the interview had to stop. That last time I walked off was pretty much it. Like we either about to do something or this interview got to stop because I was literally getting ready to dog walk the shit out of her. So I had went upstairs, smoked my little weed to calm down, and what did she do? She took her fat ass right up them stairs and her fat ass boyfriend with the camera right along with her, trying to film. Not even try, but they did try, film me and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna still give her a little chance or whatever. But Jaguar, she is the fakest person. She doesn't stand for any woman. She can't even stand for her fucking self. Everybody she talks about, she does that. She does nothing but belittle them. And that's that. When you see Jaguar, you're looking at the face of a coward. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the face of a coward, a non-perfect person acting like they're perfect.
Yeah, and you were crying at the beginning of that. I mean, you're talking about some things that happened to you that were terrible, and
Yeah,
to
Jaguar didn't put no tears in me. What she did was piss me off. That's why I stopped talking and I started rocking. Because I'm sitting here thinking, should I get up and swing or should I try to remain professional? Because I didn't know we could act a fool. Had I
yeah,
known that interview would have went completely different.
it's okay, you know. So, when it really comes down to it, you're dealing in a situation where mother at 15. Break down your situation. You don't have to get in depth into the everything 'cause we're not trying to re-traumatize the situation, but like everything
How
that you
healed.
said prior to that situation, like I don't see why anyone would walk into that situation and try to demonize you as a mother. Let's go into it.
Um, Became a mother at 15 from sexual assault that stemmed from 15 to 18. That's where my first children came from. After that, on my 18th, on my 18th birthday, I was secretly working two jobs and still going to school. So on my 18th birthday, I signed a lease for a year, up to a year and 1 month, I believe, maybe a year and 3 months. I signed my lease for a year and 3 months. I took my oldest two and I ran. I stayed to myself for a couple of years, and then I met my son's dad. He was a monster. He wasn't shit. Turns out he was a drunk. He had drug problems, and I'll actually send you that paperwork. Turns out he was also a fucking rapist because he had ended up going to jail for raping some girl. That was the end of our relationship. When he tried to come back, I wouldn't take him back. He fell further into drugs, and that's why his mom is mad and keeps trying to say I killed him because I wouldn't babysit him. So, um, then a couple years after that, I had my twins. And that was actually my surprise pregnancy because I was actually on birth control when I got pregnant with them. Well, birth control, and then I took a Plan B. Thinking I was taking the extra step of protection. That's when I found out very quick they counteract each other, kind of cancel each other out. So I ended up with my daughters and just been a single mom with my daughters. And I'm not gonna make it seem like he was a rapist or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie on somebody if they ain't do that. So he ain't never raped me or give me no rapey vibes with me. He's actually never been around my other boys. I just don't be keeping people around my kids like that. But he ain't giving me rapey vibes. He ain't doing no rapist shit either. But he when I got pregnant, I did find out he was abusing pills like Xanax, perks, and things like that. And then he was also abusive, not just verbally but physical. So the last time he had hit me when I was pregnant was the last time, and I left him and I spent my pregnancy alone. After my daughters was born, I raised them pretty much by myself with the help of my mother. And yeah, I've gone through some things with my mother with my upbringing that I've been very vocal about, and I forgave my mom for all of it. Because my mom went through the worst. My mom had it worse than I did. She didn't have a mom either, so I couldn't blame her. You know, um, And my mom struggled with her alcohol and things like that. Things have gotten better for her. And our relationship, like literally, she is my best friend. And I forgave her for everything. I hold no grudge against my mother. So yeah, that's just that
No.
that dynamic of that part.
Right. And so here's the thing is that, now after this, so you do all these shows, people like kind of get your story, and you kind of like end up kind of discarded. You're back into Columbus, you know what I'm saying? And then you try to get jobs. Explain what happened after all this like publicity from this whole thing.
So I mean, just like anybody, when publicity on that magnitude comes, because I mean, I went global. So when that magnitude comes, just like anybody who comes from nothing, you're gonna jump for every opportunity to try to get out the hood. Am I right? Um, so I did just that. But I've ran into a lot of people who promised this, who promised that. I never usually believe, shit like stuff people say, but I still jump for every opportunity I can. But it was so hard to get jobs. Like, I'm still a medical assistant. Am I working anywhere? No. But I am a medical assistant. People thought I was lying about going to school, being a med. I was going to two different schools. One was, college, and the other one was for my little nursing stuff. And everybody thought I lied about that. Lo and behold, I'm a medical assistant, and people actually found out I wasn't lying about that. So every time I got a job, things would seem kind of cool, and then boom, I would get fired because I'll tell you about the recent situation because boom, a video would surface and then they would tell me, oh, well, we don't want that kind of attention, or, you'll bring too much negative attention, or be a distraction, you know? So it's just like you'll be a liability and a distraction to the workplace. So there was a point and I said, you know what? Okay, cool. Real, like, professional jobs that want to hire me. Okay, I'll go strip. I don't care because, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get money for me and my kids. That didn't happen because everybody in my city, they planned a riot. They literally went up there with knives, blocks, rocks and socks, all kind of stuff, and mace. Like, I didn't even make it there, and they called me, hey, you can't come in. Everybody's getting death threats and all kind of stuff. Like, they planned a riot. So, you know, that shut that down. I ended up getting banned from every strip club in Ohio. Uh, so then I kind of just like stayed on TikTok trying to just showcase my journey along the way, whether I was in my car or whatever, and that helped with a little bit of funds with gas and food. And I actually lived in the car for months with my daughters. Literally, I have a video. Well, I think I may have, take it to where people can't see it, but I have a video on TikTok where last November 16th, I was living in my car with my twins, and I didn't even have money to get a cake or anything. So what I did is I had $5. No, I think I had $10. I went to Clown Cone. I got them some candy. Went to the thrift store, got them like like the little packs of Barbies or whatever. And that's how we spent their birthday. I was feeling like shit, but they couldn't even tell. They were happy. They had their candy. They had their little Barbies. They loved it. My daughters are 3. And just recently, I was working at Ohio Gastroenterology Group, which is a hospital where we work with the GI tract. So we do like endoscopies, colonoscopies, and things like that. And I was proud. I finally became like in my mind, I finally became a regular person. I'm working. I felt proud of myself. Lo and behold, World Star Hip Hop reposted me out the blue. They've never reached out to me about anything. Like, mind you, I don't think they really have to. But it was just the fact that they posted me and I lost my job. And one of the things people, they be saying is, oh, we don't work with famous people. And I'm like, I'm not famous. I'm Lex. I'm Alexis. I'm me. I'm just a regular person trying to make it. So after World Star Hip Hop posted me, I tried to make my way to ATL to try to find another opportunity, try to get on my feet there, and went to jail for 12 days. And yeah,
Yeah, so on your way there, you got pulled over, you know what I'm saying? And
yep, I
they
caught 7 charges. Yep, got pulled over, caught 7 charges, spent 12 days in jail, um, car impounded, license suspended. So I'm stuck in a hick town right now. And
right. So now they had, yeah. So they're like you get out of jail and now you got to stay in Kentucky because or where you're in or Kansas or I'm not sure where you got to stay out
um,
there because you can't even get back
yeah,
home.
they don't really have like buses or anything out here. So it's like if you don't know anybody, you don't have a car, you kind of just shit out of luck. And everything is just so far. Mind you, I'm not disabled, but them walks is treacherous. And it be so hot and humid too. But um I mean I'm still applying this stuff here in Kentucky. Like I said, I mean my I've never been the person to not work. I've been working since I was 15, so I'm far from lazy, you know? Um, it's just now I'm trying to break out of this still with jobs not messing with me because my face is everywhere. Um, so I mean, does it sometimes get to me? Yeah, but am I very optimistic? Yes. And me, I'm just the type of person I'm gonna keep on keeping on, you know. So I'm gonna keep going. Like I already always tell myself my break is gonna come, something gonna happen, you know. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Can I just say this? You know what? Despite everything, you have a beautiful spirit, and I don't see
Oh,
why
thank you.
anybody would want to continue to berate you. Um, it's jealousy. Chief, do
It
you have
is.
anything you want to say based on a lot of the stuff that you've been hearing?
I think she's a beautiful soul. And see,
Oh, thank you.
all that is a reflection of, of a reflection of you. And Monica, I want to talk to her off the air.
Okay, there we go. I don't know what the heck.
All right, well we could do that, but I just wanted to like even just for the people in the audience that might let's talk about like thoughts or let's talk about okay, well you say it's a reflection.
Yes,
I'm gonna let you
this
talk
is
to her off the air, but I just want to like want you to break down what that means, a reflection of you.
a reflection of her thoughts and her beliefs.
I live in my truth for sure.
And you, yeah, but everything we see is a reflection of what's inside, what's going on inside of self. So I prefer to talk to you off the air.
Okay. Right. So we're
I
gonna do that
appreciate that.
too. We're gonna do that too. However, you know, this whole thing, you know, what we're doing right now, because we want to really break down certain things when it comes down to it, because Chief is not only a sound healer. We saw her on 607 Unk when she did the sound healing.
Mm.
What can you talk about right now without getting too in depth, Chief? You know, not revealing too much. Just even to the audience about like, okay, when you're going through a lot of these things like this, how do you deal with it? What would you say would be a general without like being 100% about her? Because I get what you don't want to
You,
give a counseling to
right, because
her, but yeah, because that's
I've just been listening, and we have to change our thoughts and change the way we think about ourselves. So that's a major thing. You have to change your thoughts. If you want to create something different, you have to change you, and the world will reflect that. It's all an inside job.
Yeah, I can actually definitely say like now I can talk like when I talk about like the things my kids have said to me, and none of them were hurtful, you know, like I said, me and my kids, we've always had like a close knit relationship, but we're even stronger now. Like it's literally like, you know, it's us against the world, you know, but not in a negative way. Like it's the world. It almost feels like the world is beefing with me and I'm just skating past them. So it's when a
Hmm.
lot of people like now it's to a point to where I troll back. So like when people come and try to berate me or just try to come with disrespect, I mean I eat they excuse my language, but I eat their ass up every single time. Every single time. And I'm at the end of it, I'm the one that's still not mad. They're the ones who even more mad because they come to my lane, you know, they continuously jump in my lane. So and I always tell them like, hey, I'm not beefing with either one of you guys, but you guys come to me with the disrespect, I'm gonna make sure I disrespect you back, you know, because I don't know who told anybody I was a bitch to begin with. Excuse my language, ladies. But and it's like, you know, you open that door for it to go this way, and it didn't have to. I could joke with everybody all day. I could talk to you all day, you know. But once you open that door, you have to be the one to close it. I'm not gonna close the door that you opened. I'm gonna walk through it. I'm gonna keep on going, you know. So it's to a point to where I've already projected what people are gonna say to me or about me. So it literally, there's not one thing that anybody, even back then, it's not anything that anybody has said to me, except for that except for that girl Jaguar. But it's not anything that anybody has said to me that has bothered me. Especially now, I know exactly what they're gonna say. It don't bother me, and I've healed. Like, I can talk about it now, like, especially like when I talk about my kids and stuff, I'm gonna still get emotional. Why not? They're my babies, you know, and I love them so much. But you know, like when it comes to like the other stuff, you know, like I said, it doesn't get to me at all, you know, and
So you,
I get emotional with my babies, but when it comes to the world and the negativity, I learned to block it out. So, and I think that's what makes people even more mad because, you know, right now there's a stigma or just a saying that, you know, I dropped my kids off and I bragged about it. No, I didn't brag about anything. What happened is I dropped my kids off, and your hate is what skyrocketed me into all the attention that you guys desperately wanted for yourselves. And you guys, your hate is what got me the attention in the first place. And I took them lemons and I made lemonade with it, and I continued on my little journey. And you know, and it's like they want me to do stuff that they want me to do, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not their yes man or anything, and that's what bothers them, you know, because it's my life and it's my life to live and mine only. So everything I do is always going to be for me and my kids and not for the benefit or for the, you know, the I can't think of the word. It's never going to be for anybody else's benefit or enjoyment.
well,
It's
you,
always going to be, yeah, I'm not looking to, you know, scam anybody in the process. I'm not looking to make enemies in the process, but I know it's going to happen regardless. I'm not talking about the scamming part. I don't scam, but you know, I know I'm going to make enemies regardless along the way. But when I get to where I'm going, when I finally reach the goal that I want and get the life that I envision for me and my kids, I got a story to sit back and tell again about the journey, you know, like I'll be lying I mean, I have people I talk to. I still have friends, some friends, and I'm talking about people I don't have to question their loyalty to me.
mhm,
So those are the people I stick with, those who stick with me. You know, I love those who love me. And if you don't like me, you can't be in my little bubble or anything, you know. And when it comes to my life, you know, it's a morals world. You're just living in it, you know. And I'm not saying this to you guys. I just like in general when I'm talking about the haters and things like that.
mhm,
Um, and it is just, you know, I would say it's on the journey to the come up to the life that I envision for me and my kids. Um, I've seen a lot in just that little time. Like I've lived many lives in this one life of mine. I'm only 28 now, you know,
mhm,
and the journey to the come up and just especially my name is now a household name, especially in my city. So and it's like, you know, when you reach that kind of level of attention or you have that many people watching you and things like that, I learned very quick, you know, just like I said, you know, people try to set me up and all kind of stuff. I learned you can't trust people at all. So
no,
even still, like people that, you know, I do know they love me and I love them, and you know it's just good vibes with them, I still don't go and hang out because, you know, I could hang out with them, but then they might invite somebody else over who might invite somebody else over and they don't like me. And I don't want to put myself in that position. But those who I can hang out with and talk to, um, you know, I don't have to worry about that because they know what we're dealing with when it comes to me. You know, I can say like even still now, it is not just because of like, oh, like I said, some people are mad about what I did when it comes to the kids, but they're more so mad and envious of the opportunities and the attention that came afterwards, you know? So I can't, I can't go to bars. Well, I never really was too much of a club and bar person or whatever, but you know, even if I wanted to, I can't go to concerts. I can't go to clubs. I can't go to bars. I can't go to outings where there's too many people because I know for a fact the moment somebody sees me and they're like, oh, this is my moment to go and get viral or get some laughs and jokes. Hey, hold my phone and start recording while I go try to attack this girl. But mind you, I'm not the one who got embarrassed after that. So that's why they ain't never post a video. And I be
Right. So
telling
you
people,
actually went
leave
to a
people
concert
alone.
and somebody like actually came up to you on some weird stuff and like try to make you look crazy.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh goodness, yes. I've had groups come up to me. I mean, it's not just females that. Oh, well, I'm not beefing with nobody, but it's not just females beefing with me. I'm talking about men too. I'm getting targeted by men and women. Sometimes the groups can be made of both, you know? And I will say at least not yet. Hopefully it doesn't happen because I mean I could take a hit, but I don't want to get hit by a grown ass man ever again. But I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Like I said, right now everybody's
It almost got to
everybody's
that.
doing
Like
it.
people were like doing like getting on up in your face. Like, what were they
Yeah,
saying? What kind of things were they
I've
doing?
had I've had people, come up to me, like some of them, like so, and not all interactions were bad interactions. Some people actually see me and they broke down crying and started screaming like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's you! I'm such a fan." Goodness, I'm trying to think of the word. Like, just pretty much like, I love you for what you've done. Like, you showed courage and you've helped me in my situation. Like, I've opened up a lot of with my situation, a lot of people projected their personal situations on me, because a lot of people were left by their parents, and their parents never came back for them. So I know I opened up a lot of wounds for other people, but they projected it onto me instead of handling it with the person who hurt them, and I was just the outlet for them. And then I've had some people, like some girls, I'll give you an example. I had my youngest son with me one day, and I walked into the store. I'm not even gonna beat you guys. I had a gun in my purse. I was about to shoot everybody if it went that far. But I had my son with me. There was a girl who was walking out. I held the door for her, and me, I'm taking my son. He's picking out his little snacks and stuff. That same girl, I held the door open for 7 females come into the store, and one was like, "Oh yeah, I heard Amora Lexx was in here, so I had to come and see for myself." And at one point it was like, they were surrounding me, asking me questions. Some of them were moving closer, and you can kind of see body language. So it was like, I know what you're about to do, and you'd be fucking stupid to do it, you know. And actually, just recently, what maybe a month or two ago, I took my daughters to an appointment, and I got spit on by a girl. And I mean, I ain't
But
gonna
at
lie,
the appointment or on the way there.
No, this was at the appointment. Well, this is like after the appointment. Like I walked in and this girl is staring me down. Mind you, I'm used to that now. Like I'm used to groups of people just staring me down, but it don't apply pressure to me. So I kind of didn't really think of it. I was like, oh, she is just another one of those. So this girl waited. My daughter's appointment, because they're twins. This appointment took almost 3 hours. She waited in the lobby for 3 hours. Walked outside when I walked outside. Mind you, she had her baby in her hand, so I held the door open for her, my goofy ass. But I didn't know what but she was just like, I feel some kind of way, and I told her to feel better, and she was just like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" I'm like, "You're saying you feel some type of way about something that don't got nothing to do with you, bitch. Feel better." And I turned around to walk away, and she spit on me. Ooh, she if she didn't have that baby in her hand, because like I said, that baby had nothing to do with it. So had I would have punched her, I would have probably dropped her, and she would have dropped her baby. And I didn't want that. But and I don't get with the spitting stuff because that's just nasty. It's just nasty. But I wasn't gonna leave without doing nothing. I can't fight you because I got my daughters, and you have your child in your hand. She didn't have a car seat for him. So yeah, I wasn't gonna do all that. But I definitely spit on her back. I felt so low after that. But it was like something had to be. You had to get got back. Period. And it's like yeah, like I'm just like, you something had to happen. I wasn't gonna just let you spit on me and just walk away. Like it wasn't gonna happen. Um
Is this mostly black women doing this to you or other races?
and you wanna know what's sad? I've actually gotten more love and support from the white people. And I don't mean to say it in a racist or a prejudiced way, but you know, just from 3 black women talking, unfortunately the black race tears each other down the most, because just the black generation, or black race in general, just we don't really know nothing but well, most of us, a lot of it, we grow up in oppression. Everybody grows up angry and whatnot. And at first I didn't seek help, for what I was going through. And the interviews did help, but the interviews, also hurt me at the same
Fuel
time.
the
Not,
fuel the fire. And I think that
yeah,
part of it is because you're talking to a person that's an interviewer and not a psychiatrist. So they're just trying to get the
or
story.
energy
yeah,
worker. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Chief,
and
do
it
you
was
have
like,
anything that you want to say while she's going through before she goes into the next part? Any
Well,
thoughts? Or do
I
you have any?
I see you trigger a lot of people with your story, and we all have things from the past we're not conscious aware of, you know. So
mhm,
it can be something in their lifetime that had the same kind of energy, and they were reacting to that. But you hold your ground. What they think about you is really none of your business. That's
that
it
exactly how they feel has
yeah,
nothing to do with me, because it really has
at
something
all.
all to do with their self and their upbringing, what they
Right,
went through.
right. Yeah. So you don't
Yeah.
have to take it in, and you don't have to react to it either. You don't have to give your power up to them. When you react, you give your power up.
Yeah, and and I'd be sitting here lying if I didn't say at one point I was just I was so consumed with so much negativity. So like
Mm,
everything I posted, it just seemed negative, and like for a while, like the negativity did consume me, and I was like, no, I didn't give my kids up to be consumed by negative energy.
yeah.
When I let all that go, it just became easier and easier and easier to
Mm,
continue to live my life the way I see fit for me and my
yes.
kids.
And you
And
don't. Yeah.
yeah,
You don't need nobody's permission to be you.
exactly. And I think the part that really gets them is that I didn't gain attention by faking anything about me. I didn't put on a facade and be who I wasn't, I've always
Mhm.
just been myself, and I'm gonna continue to just stay myself. I live in my truth. I live in my light, because no, it didn't kill me. It did break me at some point in my life, but I still got right back up. And I mean, I can literally say I have healed from everything that broke me. And I say that with the wholest part of me. I've healed from everything that broke me. Everything I was mad about and angry about, I'm healed. Like, okay, cool, y'all. My sperm donor, well, my abuser, you're still a rapist. That's not going to change. I definitely still don't want you around my kids. For the one, who is still alive, because, I do have a child. One of my sperm donors is dead, but that was his fucking fault. But, and my daughter's dad, as of right now, he does have my daughters, and that's only because I'm in the situation I'm in right now, kind of just getting out of jail for them 12 days and things like that. And what's crazy, you guys know how that saying goes about tables turning. And he's calling me. Oh, mind you, my daughter's is about to be 4. I was single mom for the longest, up until what, two weeks ago. Still technically a single mom, but he's only had them for 2 weeks. He's acting like father of the year, and I'm out. Regardless, I'm still happy my daughters do get to build that bond. Although he didn't want that bond to begin with, but as of today, he texts me. He's like, "Well, somebody can come get them, because it's just very set on that he doesn't want to be a father
So
to
now
my children."
he want to go to CPS with the kids and say, you
Oh,
understand? Now he's finally like understanding where you're coming from. Is that what's going on?
oh, no, 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 no. Kind of, but it's kind of in a different way, because he's calling me. Oh, I'm tired. I need a break. Oh, I'm struggling. They don't have
Mhm.
pull-ups. Okay, get them some pull-ups. You sell drugs, don't you? Go get them some pull-ups. Mind you, the same day I got out of jail, I know, and I'm not here because I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not even in competition with him. But it's like, dang, it's crazy that you're crying after 2 weeks. Imagine how I felt after 3 years.
Hmm.
You know, and he's like, oh, I gotta get food and da 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 da. Okay, I did order $320 in groceries for my daughters off my food stamp card with my DoorDash. Boom, had it delivered to the house. Same day, mind you, I just got out of jail. Obviously, I didn't have the money, so boom. I mean, it wasn't nude or anything, but I did sell a toy video. Got some money, ordered my daughter some pull-ups and some wipes. But I keep told him, why they're my daughters are potty trained. Why are they still on pull-ups? Because, oh, you don't want to take the time to take them to the potty. Okay. cool. It's cool. Mom's gonna be back. Mom's gonna handle that. But but yeah, and then he's actually today he's like, oh, I'm gonna have one of my baby mamas take custody of them, or I'm gonna try to take custody of them so I can go and apply for Section 8 and I can get me a house in a month. And I'm like,
Oh
who
Lord, here
told
we
you
go
that?
with the financial gain off the kids. That's crazy.
Oh, speaking
And
of
when
which,
he
you know,
does that, they're gonna really try to get like custody, and that's where you're
oh
gonna have a hard time. That's what they're gonna try to do, and that's crazy. His baby mama, he's not even married to her. His baby
it,
mama don't get custody of the kid. Are you crazy?
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like I've been through this before. I literally know it's not gonna happen because my thing is you want to take custody of them, but you're mad because you can't afford to take care of them. You're literally going through the same thing I went through, and now you're trying to make it my fault. It's like you know, and it's like even still here in Kentucky, I'm still taking care of my daughters, but you're there with four of your baby moms, your mom, your aunt, and all your cousins and your uncles and stuff. So I'm like, I just don't, it's just kind of not clicking. And mind you, I'm not mad about taking care of my daughter's cool. If I got it, you damn right I'll give it. But I'm not giving you the money.
Can we
He's like,
talk about the dynamic in Ohio? I think that people don't understand how country. I think Ohio is one of those places that goes underneath the map as far as being kind of backwards. It's kind of
man,
it's
Ohio's so
some
backwards.
bumpkin backwards bull. Listen, I went to high school in Ohio, and it's some bull. It's bullshit. I'm not even gonna cut my words.
And I'll tell you exactly
Ohio
what it
is
is.
bullshit, and on top of that, the system itself is broken to
Hmm.
where like it's like what can you fucking do, bro? Like
Exactly.
I have sisters and everything. I left Ohio the moment I graduated high school. I got the fuck up out of there because I seen my sister struggle. I knew that it's some bullshit. I said, no, hell no. I'm not fixing to have no kids out here because I seen them struggle. Ohio is bull. It's a Republican place. It's like
It
racist.
is.
It's bullshit. Let's get into that. Can you
And you
talk
want to
about
know
Ohio?
what it really is? Huh?
Can you talk about how racist and crazy Ohio is and how
Yeah.
backwards it is?
So the system, I mean, we all know just almost anywhere, especially if it's a state that used to have slaves back in the day, we all know their system is just meant to destroy black people. But it's not even just the white people destroying black people in Ohio, it's black people destroying black people in Ohio, black people destroying black communities in Ohio. Like, it's just really, really crazy because Ohio is the way it is. Ohio is a following state. There's no originality in Ohio, and I think that's also why there's a lot of hate because I'm one of one. I'm probably like the only one in Ohio that don't follow a trend. I moved to my own beat. Everybody in Ohio, nobody really likes me because I stood 10 toes on my own in my own life. I've been very vocal and blunt about my troubles and what I'm going through. So everybody, even some people that I know personally who was going through what I was going through, or even worse and stuff like that, I've seen them under my statuses and I'm like, oh well that's weird because when I used to help you feed your kids and shelter your kids, it wasn't a problem. So like the very same people that I helped were the same people I couldn't even ask for help. Are the same people that belittled me on Facebook and stuff. And it's like Ohio, like I said, it's a following state. There's no originality, and everybody is hiding behind a facade. Like you'll never really know anybody. Like unless you're that person's family, you'll never truly know them because they change who they are every different like every different building environment, or every time they go in front of somebody. They're not the same person.
I'm gonna tell you this. Listen. I lived in Ohio. Listen, my mom comes from Steubenville, Ohio. Now that's not Columbus; it's a small town. But I'm gonna tell you how backwards Ohio is. My mom got raped at a very young age, and she had to actually leave Ohio because it was a friend of the family. That's the type of like. So it's really
They'll
well
sweep it under
known.
the rug before they try to get you help. It's so
Yeah,
normal for that child. Like when I tell you the child rape and grape, I'm sorry, child grape and just anything that shouldn't be going on, they sweep it under the rug. Oh, and it's crazy because there are some people who I know for a fact know something about somebody else, and they won't sit there and help that child. But that's what they will do. They'll still enable. well, they'll still enable the abuser. Oh, I won't help your
Yeah.
child, but what I will do is I'll pop up with some weed. I'll pop up with a bottle. We can party and everything. Oh, I'm feeling good. I had a good time, so I'm gonna go home to my family. But I know because you're fucked up and you're off liquor, you're about to go rape your child. Like
Mm.
people, like they're really weird in Ohio, and it's weird because like when I spoke about it and when I opened up about just everything that was going on in Ohio, it's like people were mad about that, and it's like that's not a normal thing, you guys. I don't know if I mean I get it.
It's because they listen. You are bringing out stuff in their community that's been going on for ages upon ages upon ages. And how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Let's really
Yeah,
get down to the real crux of it all. Is that Ohio is jacked up? It's some backwood Appalachian Mountain bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you
yeah,
probably. I'm not sure if Columbus is Appalachia, but I know in where I was at, right next to West Virginia, all type of wild stuff and child molested and all that stuff was going on. But it was not accepted, but it was like swept underneath the rug, like you said. You know what I'm saying? And how
yeah,
dare you say anything about it? You're messing up our family name. You're messing up the how we supposed, because a lot of bougie people went to Ohio at a certain point when the steel industry was really on and popping, and a lot of people made a lot of money, and they got bougie. But then you have these like now it became ghetto, so now you have like this bougie mindset in a ghetto environment in a town that's
yeah,
falling apart. Ain't no steel mills, nothing going on anymore, and y'all still trying to hold on to this like bullshit, way of life that you thought that the family thought they had. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why
yeah,
I identify so close with Amora is because listen, like I come from Steubenville, right? We used to play them in football, Columbus. They used to whoop our ass. Anyways, when I say that it is some white supremacy, country bumpkin,
yes,
like real, like just racism going on there, like
yeah. If I'm not
backwoods,
mistaken, we
like
we still have.
snaggletooth racism going on there is crazy.
Yep,
You know,
and if I'm not mistaken, we still have a couple sundown towns still in Ohio. It is wild. And you know how you said just like people will try to brush it off because it's messing up their like their reputation or how people view them. And that's the problem. They're so more worried about how people view them instead of actually standing up for what's right. And I'm not fearful of anybody inside of Ohio or outside of Ohio. I know I'm not invincible and I can't beat everybody, but I'm not scared of nobody either. So, and it's weird because if you I'm gonna try to find it and share it, but there is a guy right now who is in jail. I think they gave him life, but he is in jail right now for sex trafficking. And the very, very same people who tried to talk about me and kept wanting me to shut up about what's happening and trying to spread awareness and trying to get all that sex trafficking and stuff. And these are supposed to be some of Columbus's well-known hood niggas. Mind you, there's really no hood. There's no hood in Ohio, no gang in Ohio that really stands for anything, but they all fall for anything. But everybody is right now saying, "Oh, free cuz out that jam." It's so sun, and
they want to feel like they hood too, and
they're
you
really
just
not.
a country ass like back.
Unfortunately, there's outside of me. There's really ain't nobody in Ohio that's really
Let me
about
tell
it.
you. Let me tell you something. On some real shit. Okay, all the Ohio people that's out there talking crap. All somebody got to do is come from Chicago and take over that whole city. Chicago been running Ohio for the longest time.
Yeah,
Straight up.
and it's weird because and it's crazy you said that, and I don't disagree with you because me, like I said, I'm not scared of anybody in Ohio or outside of Ohio, and I'll get down and dirty with anybody. But my thing, I don't want to do that, but I will if I have to. But there's nobody in Ohio, including men and well, men obviously, but as well as women. There's nobody in Ohio that'll actually really get out there. Because I remember there was a time where men used to actually go out there and fight like men and leave the next man to still, they would take that L, put their pride aside, and still leave the next man to go raise his damn family. They don't do that no more. They're so scared to fight anybody. They rather just shoot you because everybody, people in Ohio really don't know how to fight. There's like
And
literally
then
in
don't
Columbus,
even have a
Ohio.
dang on population to be doing all that shooting. So you shoot somebody, okay,
Literally.
you have less people now. Okay,
Literally,
you know
and
what
it's
I'm saying?
crazy. They're not even fight. They're not even shooting the people that they probably should be shooting. I'm not saying anybody needs to die, because I mean, I do talk a lot of, troll on Facebook, and I do talk a lot of stuff, but they're not shooting people that they should. I mean, like, the not. I don't know if you've seen that. The Nazis just came down here, was all downtown in Columbus. Not one person went to go
Oh,
fight them. Not one
I thought it
person
was
went to go shoot them.
oh, so they went to Cincinnati and Columbus and didn't nobody do nothing in Columbus.
Cincinnati handled their business like they were supposed to. Columbus, I don't even think I was in Columbus at the time, or where was I? I probably didn't have a card. But nobody in Columbus stood up to them people that went down there. But y'all want
Probably
to go
because they
shoot?
too
You
broke
want
to
to go
get
shoot
down
your
to
fellow
where
brother?
they at. They probably everybody broke as hell. They can't even get a car
Yeah,
to get down to where the Nazis are at to like argue with them. You know what I'm saying?
it
That's the
was
thing.
downtown Columbus. Right now, today was Juneteenth, and last week was the Asian Fest. Everybody and their mama was down there, but nobody shut up when the Nazis was down there. Nobody, because they don't know how to stand up for what's right. As long as they can stand up for some hood shit or some, it's not even no real hood shit. Because, like I said, nobody in Ohio is really about it. But if it's something that can make them seem tough or get a name and really like they out there like that, nobody's out in the field. And it's crazy because they be in here in they be in Columbus talking about, I'm gonna just make up a name. Like they be saying, they call themselves Taliban Ray, Taliban James, like they're really a gang or something. I'm like, y'all not fighting no
Just
real
made up
wars.
bullshit.
Like literally, y'all not fighting no real wars. Y'all not standing up for
They
anything.
want to they watch TV and they want to pretend like they doing some stuff. Come, let me tell you something about this.
They jump off the porch and can't handle it.
You understand? They all got houses. They all living in houses. They're not living in squalor. People in Ohio live in houses, bro. They not in a really in no apartments like that. They got houses out there. People living nice with houses. I mean,
Yeah,
people
you
down
do. I mean,
there.
we definitely do got some project areas and hood areas where it be
Yeah,
run down. And it is weird because everybody be having this facade like they're just so bougie and stuff. In real life, almost everybody. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody. That I'd be lying. But north side, east side, and yeah, north side, east side, and west side. It's all sides. Like, everybody got fucking bed bugs and roaches and rats. If you ain't got one, you got the other. Yeah, you probably got maybe about a good. I'd probably say about a good 500 houses out of all of Ohio, out of all of Columbus that don't have it. Literally, nobody is living better than the next person. But like I said, everybody got the facade they got going on, and it's crazy. Like, and I'm like, y'all, look at me. If you like, literally, just be real. There, what do you have to fake? Everything about your life is fake. The gang you're in, the gang, what y'all's gang stands for. Like, there's so many gangs in Ohio, right, and Columbus right now, and I ain't really seen nobody standing up for anything. I remember the Black Panthers was technically a gang, but not like a bad gang. They stood for their community. They stood. They helped their community. These gangs ain't doing nothing but tearing our communities down and killing these kids. Not even making it past 15. Like they're not
wow.
standing for shit. It's sad. Like these kids are dying left and right. They're not making it past 15. Before you might make it to 18, you might make it to 21. You're not making it past 15 because everybody like, and then it's
So
like these
hold on, before
gangs.
we go too even deep in like even that, like why even stay in Ohio? So you said you were leaving, right? You're trying to even leave up out of there, and Kentucky stopped you. Like, hold on now. So all right, so Chief
Yeah,
was talking about okay. So is some of this like okay? How much of this? Because sometimes because Chief was talking about it, he said, listen, some of the things that you're going through is what you're going through. A lot of it might be the thoughts behind your situation. So if in your mind you're stuck in that place, Ohio, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to mentally get out of Ohio because Ohio, you got to mentally get out of it because Ohio will have you stuck. And I've seen it. People, do you know in Steubenville, they'll be like, "Oh, that's the big city. You better watch out." When I like was about to leave and I was about to move to Detroit, you better be careful. That's the big city. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but I don't care about no big city. I'm getting the hell up out of here. It don't matter no big city. I'm going to the big city, to the big scary city where everything's dangerous, rather than being up in here because everybody then got pregnant. Hell, by the time I graduated, I think like half of our like whole like graduation class was pregnant, about to have a baby, this and that.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's very well known about a 15-year-old child, like 13, 15, 14 in Ohio about to have a baby, about to like give birth.
Yeah, that's the normal. Yeah,
That's
in
norm.
kids,
That's the
yeah, for
norm
sure.
in
In
Ohio.
Ohio, yeah, they start young a lot. Look, I kid you not, these
They
girls
ain't
is
supposed to
starting to
do.
have sex at
It ain't
11
supposed to
to
do, but
10,
fuck
12, all of that.
and get into some trouble in
Yeah,
Ohio.
and the young kids, there's actually a group of 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds. Well, not only are they still in the cars, they call themselves the Kia Boys, but there's also other groups of kids. They literally got switches and drakes. I'm like, I'm 28. I ain't even got a switch or a drake. And then it's like, bro, you're 14, you're 13. You get caught with a switch, you're about to pretty much do life.
Right.
Literally, like, and guess what? Unfortunately, it's because the adults in Ohio, the same are the very same ones that bash me. They're the ones supplying these kids with that because they still want to seem cool. They still want to seem cool to the young ones and
They ain't
cool
been
to the
to
older
Ohio. They
ones.
ain't went nowhere else.
Everybody got
That's the
something to
one thing about
prove.
Ohio. They ain't going nowhere. They gonna be in that little neighborhood. Don't go nowhere.
Yep,
Man,
everybody in Ohio feel like they got something to prove and ain't proved nothing yet. And like these kids don't
and
have
they,
no
they,
feelings.
they
That's why
stay
I
in
was
that one
listening.
area and don't go nowhere outside. They might go to the casino. They might go to Cleveland. They might go here, but they will be stuck in Ohio, bro. And that's the
Yeah.
part that I'm like, man. That's what I'm so glad I got the hell up out of there. Man, they be like, hey, you want to come visit the family? And I'm like, no shit. I feel like if
Yeah.
I go out there, I might get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Ohio, listen,
And I'm trying to get out of Ohio before, because you know what, and I can honestly, because I know a lot of moms really boast and gloat about their kids, and half the time they really be lying. But if anybody ever seen my kids are so smart, they're intelligent, and my kids, they actually act like kids. My son is 12. He don't be outside in that gang stuff trying to talk to all these girls. He's 12. He still be in the house playing Fortnite. Literally.
right,
Like he don't my kids don't get into all of that because I already told my kids I'm not raising thugs. I'm raising young men. I'm raising millionaires, billionaires, lawyers, doctors, astronauts, physiologists. You know, my youngest son, he's 7. He wants to be a paleontologist. Those are the type of people that I'm raising. I'm not raising the next, young thug and shit. I'm not doing that.
right. So, with all that being said, I know Chief been sitting up here quiet. I want to hear what her take on things are. Chief, what is your thoughts on? But we didn't cover it a lot. We've been just talking. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
It has been a good conversation with y'all.
So, what's your plan?
Well, my plan, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm still applying to jobs and stuff. I just got my background back from I walked an hour to this temp service and walked an hour back. But I got what I did. I did what I needed to do. My
Hmm.
background came back, so now I'm just waiting to see if they have a warehouse or a position to come open. But right now in Richmond, just like Ohio, there's no jobs. Don't let nobody in Ohio lie to you and say that they have jobs. Everybody's hiring, but nobody's hiring. Here in Richmond, they literally don't have any open positions. You have to go to Lexington. And I'm not even nowhere near Lexington. I'm not that far, but with me not having no car and stuff, and they really don't. I think there's one bus in all of Richmond. That's how rinky-dink this damn town
that's how
is.
Ohio is too.
And the bus
Ohio
is not a
having that
bus.
one little
It's a
bus.
van.
So,
Yeah, the bus is not a bus. It's a van.
Go
But
ahead.
I'm gonna
you
work.
mentioned you want to leave there.
Yeah, I don't want to be here. I'm ready to go. Like
So,
I've
don't.
met some amazing people. Like, and I don't mean to cut you off. So, you know how like when you get out of jail, whether you're from there or not, they don't care where you're going or anything like that. So I had gotta fake it till you make it sometimes. But I had told this place, I was like, hey, mind you, I guess now I'm not smoking the weed because everybody just smokes meth here. They literally skipped the weed, went straight to meth. I don't mess with that shit. But anyway, I had to do what I had to do. I called this one place and I was like, hey, I just got out of jail, so I'm free from meth and crack. Um, so I got myself into a recovery house or whatever to, kind of have a place to lay my head. But everybody here, and it's weird because it's not like a shelter. It's an actual house. But everybody here, I actually thought when I first came here, I thought I was going to be around a whole bunch of meth heads and things like that. It's not at like the people I'm in this house with. They're actually bomb as shit. Like, nobody here is lazy. Everybody's cool. Everybody's down to earth. And they're just like me. They lived in their truth. Some people just pass them through. Some people live here, and like, I'm actually around some good people, but it's just this town. I got to get the fuck out of here. I got
Yeah,
to
you
go.
do.
And I'm gonna miss the few people I've met here. I'm gonna miss this little group of people. But I'm only here for a second to bless your life. Make a good impression. Make some good memories, and I'm off to the next. I still got my life to live, and mind you, I was never planning to stay here. I just got stuck and went to jail here. So, yep, I'm just waiting on them to let me know that they have a job for me, hopefully in Richmond. But I do have a interview Monday in Lexington. How I'm gonna get there, I have no idea, but I will get there. So yeah, I'm gonna just work, make enough money. It's slow for getting my car out of impound
Isn't that
because,
crazy that you could like get pulled over in Kentucky, get stuck there though? That's crazy.
and you want to know, like, I can't remember the
Really?
other five charges. I caught seven charges altogether, but one of them was false, which was the DUI because I even gave them my blood, and they said it was gonna come back within 48 hours. It's been almost a week, and they're saying, "Oh, they don't have it." And I'm like, "What do you mean you don't have it? Like, y'all literally took my blood. The officer brought me here to take my blood because I literally wasn't, like, he lied. Like, I literally wasn't high at all. And I did have a doobie in the ashtray. Probably, let me try to, because I want you guys to literally see. You guys see my pinky?
Mm-hmm.
The
Hmm.
doobie I had in the ashtray, literally from the fingernail to my pinky knuckle. That's how big the doobie was. I got charged with possession,
Hmm.
and I'm like, huh. I'm like, here we go. But you know what? I mean, I wasn't smoking, but you know what? That was my fault for having a doobie in the ashtray. I can talk about how they're racist and all that stuff all day long, but it's a learning lesson. That's all I could take it is as a learning lesson. But my thing, and it is weird. I did 12 days in jail for a doobie, but this girl got brought in because she got caught with a whole bag of meth, and she got out the same night. No,
How
no, the
about
next day
that?
on OR, and they wouldn't even give me OR. They said it was unconstitutional. I said, "Excuse the fuck out of me." Like, how was that unconstitutional to give me OR, but you gave the girl with a whole bag of meth OR?
That's
And of
suspicious.
course, we had a skin difference, and I said, "Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
see how you guys are," you know, and I did experience a lot of racism in the jail I was at. I was actually, you know what? I'm not going to be silent. I was in Madison County Corrections Facility. They call it Madison County Detention Center. It's really their jail downtown here in Richmond, but they are so racist. The first day I got in there, and I think I told you about the fight with the deputy, about the one trying to come to my cell and fight me, but she had me fucked up because excuse my language, y'all. I have to say it literally the way it happened. When I came in for booking, it was nothing but white officers, and there was nobody else like in booking. When they brought me in, I was the only person being brought in at the time. So I'm around, obviously, Caucasian people. Let me just say Caucasian. It sounds better than saying white. Kind of sounds prejudiced, But I'm surrounded by Caucasian people. It's just me. One of the deputy looked at the other deputy, said, "Oh, you could just take her to Coon Road and do what you do with her." And I looked around. I had to let it be known, y'all got the right nigga today. You gonna have to fucking kill me. I don't care. Y'all gonna have to kill me because I'm not going. I am not going. I don't care if my hands is cuffed in the front or the back. I still got my feet. I'm gonna kick the shit out of everybody. Like, y'all gonna have to kill me. And then, I mean, you're not about to try to say no racist ass stuff to me. So, and granted, like, people don't know, like, I have white in me. So I don't really get into all the racist stuff. But, like I said, you disrespect me. And especially at that moment, you disrespect me. I was going to disrespect you back. But I definitely did call her a honky ass bitch. I did. Because you're not going to just coon road. Like, I'm the only black person sitting right here. You're not about to do nothing with me. And sure enough, she didn't. But and it's just crazy because like the racism that I experienced there was, I've experienced racism in Ohio, but it wasn't like that. Like, I've been to jail in Ohio before, and they treated me better than the jail did here. Like, literally, the way they treat black people there was wild, and I'm still trying to find the number to see who I can report it to. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
So, Chief, I wanted to like to get like your opinion. We haven't said a lot.
yeah, y'all. I'm sorry for my mouth. I just had to let it out.
Hey, listen, it's okay, man. You know what? That's what we're here for. Let's go, Chief. What's your thoughts so far about everything you've heard?
Also, what I want to talk to her offline, and I think she know what to do. She know what to do, and she knows she had to get out of there. And that's your first step, right? That's your first step. And we can work on the other steps. And it was joy listening to you. And you, a bright young lady. And you can
Well,
make it.
thank you.
You
Thank
can
you.
make it. Yes.
Well, that's what she said right here. So go ahead. So sorry to get said again.
I said she's strong. She got her own mind.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chief got like something more deeper to tell you, and it can't be on here. So we're gonna
Uh,
end this stream and we're gonna like wrap it up because I think that Chief is like, okay, let's get to it. 'Cause we want to get to the bottom of this
How you
because
doing, y'all?
we can't talk about that what we're about to talk about on this stream. Thank you so much, Amora, for giving us an update on your life. That's man, it's crazy. So I'm
I
going
know,
to
right? My life is like a movie, and thank you so much, Monica, for having me back. It's always a joy talking to you. It's always love and good energy with you. I absolutely love it.
thank you
It,
so much. Thank you so much.
I
And
can't wait to see
listen,
you. So long overdue.
right, it's so long overdue. Listen, and everybody that is just because I don't get a lot of like live, but I get like people that watch it afterwards. So anyone that comes afterwards, you know, let me give you guys Chief's information because like I said, Chief, she got too much. She got like she need to talk to her individually, but Chief does do Chief Yandaya does do individual consultations. Let me give you her information real quick. Let me find it. Hold on. I got so many things. So this is Chief Yandai's information, y'all. When it really comes down to it, let me take this copyright off here because
I'm
I'm
gonna
so
screenshot this.
Put
Okay.
your website. Oh,
yeah. I'll put that up there too. Please, if you ever get a chance, go ahead and check out her website, chiefyandai.com. I want to thank everybody, the people that did get to like stop through. I know a lot of us, I haven't got like that many people watching the stream as it goes because there's so many people like there's like the Diddy trial, this, that, the other. But I know my audience is going to come back and watch this. So I just wanted to at least put this out here. Um, check out Chief
Yes.
Yandaya and then .com. And then Chief's number is 469-263-0678. And we're gonna go back behind the scenes and do some real therapy. Shouts out to Chief and shouts out to Amora Lexx. And peace.
I love who I am. I'm loving me. Look in the mirror. Unapologetically love what I see. Love who I am. I am invincible. I am a fan. My curves and my features, God makes no mistakes. I am successful. I am what it takes. I'm bulletproof. I'm 100 proof, and I love who I see because I'm living my truth. I'm invincible. I'm incredible. A star in the making. I reach past the clouds. I'm invincible. I'm incredible. And no one can stop me. Can stop me now. I'm invincible.